Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about, well, really, this video is just shot like a couple minutes after the last one, but I'm going to be talking about the reason the CTMU is written the way it's written, because it's one of the criticisms that is actually necessary to address when talking to people, reaching out to people, to try to get them to address something, which is what my last video was about, is getting people to actually engage with the content of the CTMU. One of the biggest points of contentions, which is really emotive, it's personal, it's subjective, is why is the CTMU written the way it's written? It's like you don't take into consideration that maybe the reason that people don't understand the CTMU is because of the way that it's written. And this is really akin to say, because insofar as you have technical philosophy, insofar as you have really technical metaphysics, really technical philosophy, I'd say, as somebody that has read a lot of philosophy, I'd say, and maybe there are just the unsilent majority of geniuses that have read the CTMU that disagree with me, I'd say that the CTMU is the most technical. And the reason that it's the most technical is because it's the most comprehensive metaphysical theory of everything in a philosophical capacity. And so it's not even supposed to be the case that this is supposed to be like grasped in like this, and it's supposed to be that simple. It's like, yeah, you're gonna have to read it over and over and over again, because it hasn't been condensed to the point of simplicity such that content is omitted, which is what a lot of philosophy books do. A lot of modern and new philosophy books do. You don't read Hegel and say, you fucking retard, like he's always bullshit, just because you don't understand everything from like the abstract or something, which is again what somebody like TMM, who I address, whose criticisms I address, and criticism is doing a lot of justice to what he's saying. He's, well, not justice, it's very charitable characterization of his video, and it was about the abstract. He literally just looked at the abstract and he was like, what the fuck you at me? It was like, CTMU is bullshit. Yeah, case closed. Case closed. CTMU is bullshit because the guy that read the abstract. If we really treated every philosophical treatise or every philosophy, just let's say any new understanding of reality that is new, and we treated it like that, we wouldn't understand anything. So the reality is, the reason that the CTMU is written the way it's written, and it's not the most convenient for your particular intellectual level, is because it's not supposed to be. That's not the goal. The goal is to be a comprehensive metaphysical theory of everything, and it accomplishes that on the condition that it is hard to understand for the average person. Yeah, that's because it's a very technical theory. It requires a lot of work and understanding, and there are people that understand it. And that's why there are people that believe in the CTMU. If it was completely incomprehensible, like, let's say, I'll give you an example of something that is completely incomprehensible because it actually doesn't represent or mean anything intelligible in the format of propositions. Principia Discordia is like an esoteric book, and it is actually incomprehensible. Now, the reason that people it's basically a meme. The reason that people believe in it. They believe in discord, which can be an intelligible concept, but the book itself is a representation of that intellectual concept. That's not the same thing with the CTMU. The reason the CTMU is comprehensible as opposed to incomprehensible is because it makes concrete, logically coherent, and intelligible propositions that can be understood, the conditions of prior, let's say, axioms or prior understandings that are necessary for certain other legs of the theory to hold up the theory, the chair, so to speak, to exemplify. And yeah, so the CTMU is not created for convenience. It's created for a purpose, and the purpose really is in the title. And the title is The Cognitive Theoretic Model of the Universe, and that's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to exemplify. That's what it's supposed to talk about. And that's what it does talk about. And the notion that as a precept, it has to be a precondition for somebody to be able to understand the CTMU. The CTMU must be completely inconvenience of the person's particular intellectual level. It's absurd. It's stupid. We don't hold the standard for anything else. It's not a reasonable standard by any metric. And it's almost every single time, at least in my experience. I'm not going to, be wildly universal in the way that I apply this statement, but most of the time that I've heard these kind of criticisms, it's from people that haven't even read the CTMU. They haven't read like 10 pages. And it's weird because it's about a 54-page document. It's really not all of that which is encapsulated by the CTMUs in the CTMU. And it's completely coherent. It's intelligible because there are people that understand it and can explain it to you very well. We have them in the Compatriots Academy and in the CTMU Club, which you can join in the description down below. And yeah, I don't know what else there is to say. It's comprehensible because there are people that comprehend it. It's understandable because there are people that understand it. And the notion that it must be completely in tune with your particular intellectual convenience, it's bullshit. Sorry, not how it works. And it's not a reasonable criticism for anybody to make. Sorry, that's not a criticism. That's just an emotive conflict that you have with the way that the CTMU is presented. So you can't really run around and say the CTMU is bullshit because I can't understand it. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that at all. So thank you for watching, and come back for the next video because we're gonna put a lot of these out. Given the fact that I'm now doing a face reveal, it's gonna be easier to pump these out without that, sophisticated editing and whatnot. So